Wouldn't it be nice to have just a little extra cash? Well, this is why a lot of people will start side hustles. They just want some more money. And who can blame them, right? Who wouldn't want some more money? And in this video, we are going to touch base on some of the essential steps in order to start a successful side hustle. We're going to be talking about identifying your passions and then applying those to various side hustles and just overall creating a solid business plan. The goal of this video is I want you guys to really learn how to explore your interests and then apply them in a way that you can make money for yourself. And I also want to get into some specific side hustles that I would suggest getting started with if you have these specific interests. So we'll get into that later, don't worry. But having a side hustle can be so important to some people. It can really make and break how their living situation is going. Because with literally the cost of living, people can find themselves in a situation where relying on one income just isn't enough. And a side hustle not only provides some financial security, but it also... That was thunder. That was thunder. But a side hustle not only provides us with some financial security, but it can also open the door to a lot of opportunities. And at times, a side hustle can turn into a full-time career as well, which I want to touch base on some of those side hustles that have the potential to do this within this video as well. And that is why just getting started with a side hustle correctly is going to be very essential, because you never know if it's going to turn into your full-time income. And just the list of potential benefits for starting a side hustle are truly endless, because you can not only just develop new skills, but you can gain that financial freedom, and you can even build a network of like-minded individuals. So whether you're looking to just pay off some debt, or maybe you want to save for a vacation, or maybe you're trying to pay for your college, whatever it is, or maybe you want to pay for your apartment or your house, whatever it is, I got you, you've come to the right place. Without further ado, let's just dive into the world of side hustles. But first, I want to address something that is going to be very important before you start your side hustle, and that is going to be just overall identifying your skills and your interests. And you also want to see what types of skills and interests you have that can also be monetized. So I want to start this journey off by encouraging you to do some self-reflection. Sit down and think to yourself, what do I enjoy doing? And what do I exactly excel in? Maybe something you love to do in your free time is writing, or maybe you love art, or maybe you love just the art of creating something, or maybe you are super interested in sports. But overall, recognizing your strengths and your passions, that is just going to be a very essential step when it comes to setting up a successful side hustle. Because if you don't pick something that you're interested in, the chances are that side hustle is just going to die out. Because for example, I'm not super passionate myself about sports. So for example, if I started a football clothing brand, I probably wouldn't be very interested in pursuing that side hustle and actually doing my work, because that's not something that's interesting for me. But once you have a few skills in mind that you have, I would like you to make a list of these skills. And then I want you to relate these skills to the market demand. And you can even utilize different tools like Google Trends or even social media platforms and online marketplaces to see where there is a demand and a need for a type of product. You could even explore different communities and forums and places like Facebook groups to see what are people interested in nowadays. And once you align your skills with different market needs, you can find the quote-unquote perfect niche. Because it is a niche that not only excites you, but it also excites other people as well. But first, before we talk about specific side hustles, we need to talk about market opportunities. Once you address your target audience and who you want to reach, you need to think about the market opportunities for your specific niche. And knowing who your customers are will help you tailor your product to these specific customers, because then you can create something that meets their needs. Additionally, analyzing your competitors would also be a good idea as well, because then you can kind of see how you will make your side hustle differ from other people's side hustles. And having this knowledge can kind of get you ahead in the competition sense and increase your chances of success. But how exactly do we research the competition? How do we do this? Well, we can do this by utilizing different online tools and resources, and even something like Google Trends, like I just mentioned before. This can just help you track what people are searching for. What do people like? Are people interested in cooking now, or are they more interested in doing their makeup? And then on the other hand, analyzing different social media platforms would also be a good idea, because then these can provide different insights on actual customers. And once you have a solid understanding of the market that you are going to dive into, it's going to be essential to validate your ideas. Making sure that there is going to be an audience out there that is going to be engaged with your content. You could even consider conducting different surveys to do some further research on the side hustle you are pursuing. And you could just be gathering feedback from potential customers even. And you could do this on places like Google Forms, because they make it very easy to create and distribute different surveys. And engaging with your audience early on not only helps you build your side hustle, but it also helps you kind of tweak your side hustle right off the bat. All right, now that we talked about identifying your skills and interests and different market opportunities, I wanted to provide you with some real side hustles that maybe you could pursue. And I also want to talk about how these different side hustles relate to different personality types, just to help you further put yourself into a side hustle if you choose to. Now, the first side hustle I have is going to be freelance writing. And this is a great side hustle if you're very detail-oriented, you're very creative, and you are self-disciplined. Now, probably one of my favorite examples of being a freelance writer would include maybe writing scripts for different YouTubers, because hey, I'm making YouTube videos, write me a script, please. But being a freelance writer requires a lot of creativity and communication skills as well. And a detailed-oriented person as well can excel in this area because they are able to create content and meet deadlines, which is something that's very important within freelance writing, because somebody will be like, hey, I need this script for my YouTube channel. You have to be like, oh, I can do that in a day. And I did it. Ooh, there you go. The second side hustle I have is going to be a graphic design side hustle. And this is going to be great if you're client-focused and you're creative again, and very artistic, of course. Some examples would be creating different logos for people, or social media graphic designers. You could be creating a YouTube banner for somebody, or even somebody like a web designer would be a graphic designer. To be a graphic designer, I would encourage you to have a strong sense of designing something and an eye for different aesthetics. You need to know like what colors look good with what colors. What if this company wants a logo for their coffee shop? Are you going to be able to put that together? Do you have the creativity to do so? But being innovative and client-focused helps you meet the needs of your clients and can be a great side hustle if you're just artistic. Now, the third side hustle that I have is going to be dropshipping and e-commerce. And dropshipping is where somebody sells a product, but they don't have to hold the inventory for this product at all. So when somebody buys this product from them, somebody else handles the distribution process. Now, the personality traits that would fit this side hustle would first, I would say you have to have that entrepreneurial mindset. And you also have to be very adaptable and analytical as well. An example of doing dropshipping online would include running your own just online business, an online web store. And running an e-commerce business has a lot to do with analyzing different analytics and analyzing different market trends. Because you're constantly going to have to adapt your strategy on what types of products are you selling? Is this product doing better? Is this product doing better? And entrepreneurs who are data-driven and flexible can really excel in this area. Now, the fourth side hustle that I have is going to be social media management. And this is going to be somebody who knows everything to do with social media. So you have to be very social, strategic, and also very organized, because you're going to need to be planning out different posts and also knowing what posts to post and what posts are going to do well. So with that being said, social media managers have to be very strategic with their work. They have to have everything planned out. So you gotta be a planner for this one for sure. And the sixth side hustle that I have is going to be online tutoring. Now this is going to be a good side hustle if you are very big-brained. But with also having that knowledge, you have to be very patient, because if you're dealing with a student that needs help with something and they're just not understanding how to do it, you're going to have to teach them, and you're going to have to be patient with other people's learning abilities. Now, the seventh side hustle I have is going to be affiliate marketing. And I would say this is a great side hustle if you're very lazy, because all you have to do with affiliate marketing is take a product and promote the product, and then if somebody buys this product from your link, you get a commission. And with affiliate marketing, you have to be very persuasive, because you want to encourage people to buy a specific product. And an example of somebody that can do affiliate marketing are going to be different social media influencers. And I see this a lot of the time on TikTok. Different influencers are promoting this lip gloss, and then they have a link to TikTok shop in their TikTok video. And they do this because they get commission from sales when they promote a product. And I would also say you have to be very analytical when it comes to doing affiliate marketing, because you have to understand what products are doing well and you have to really track the performances of your various posts. Moving on to our 8th side hustle, this is going to be my personal favorite side hustle if you know me, and that is going to be a YouTube channel and just YouTube content creation. And this is where I get to hype myself up a little bit, because I get to say you have to be very creative when it comes to running a YouTube channel, and you have to be semi-charismatic. I'd like to say I'm charismatic. I am trying to be charismatic, but nobody's gonna wanna sit down and watch a YouTube video if the person isn't able to engage with their audience correctly. Successful YouTubers most of the time are going to need to have this creativity in order to keep creating engaging content. And they also have to be very tech savvy, because they have to really analyze different trends and optimize their content. The next side hustle I have is one that you could also pair with YouTube, and that is going to be creating your own online course, which is something that my brother actually does. And his course is called To Master Monetization. I'll make sure, don't worry, I'll link it below if you want to check it out. He just talks about how to run a YouTube channel. But enough plugging my brother's course. If you're creating your own course, you're going to have to be very knowledgeable within a subject. But I wouldn't stress this too much, because you do have online resources, so you don't have to necessarily be an expert to start a course on something, but you also have to be very organized and you're able to just rely different ideas. Now, another side hustle I have is just photography and selling different stock photos and videos even. And in order to do stock photography, I would say you have to have an artistic eye, but you don't necessarily have to have too much of an artistic eye, because some people will even buy pictures of literally just a tree, and that's nature's beauty. So there you go. But on top of selling stock photos and videos online, you could also do photography for different events. And this is where you have to more so have an artistic eye, because if you're going to somebody's wedding and taking pictures of them, they're gonna want their pictures to look nice, and you're gonna wanna have that photography skill, of course. And photographers also pay a very strong attention to detail, because, for example, when I got my senior pictures done in high school, the photographer that did the pictures for me took a lot of photos that I didn't expect to look good, but since she has that artistic eye, she was able to spot different opportunities that I wouldn't have thought of, because I'm not necessarily a photographer. Now, those are just a few side hustles, but don't worry, I have plenty more ideas on my YouTube channel. If you didn't hear one that really stands out to you, don't worry, my channel is filled with side hustles. Now that we addressed a few side hustles, I want to talk about creating your specific business plan. And having a well-structured business plan is going to be essential when it comes to setting up your side hustle and just moving your side hustle towards success. We want to set it up for success right off the bat. And you can start by outlining key components of your plan. I would first begin with business goals. What is the purpose of your business and what are you trying to achieve? So for example, with my YouTube channel, I'm trying to teach people about different side hustles and teach people how to make money online. That's my goal. But another goal for myself with this YouTube channel is I want this channel to get monetized. So you just want to set achievable goals for yourself that you can really strive towards. Next, you can really detail your plan to reach for these specific goals. And this can include different sales tactics and operational plans and marketing approaches. Another critical aspect is going to be setting realistic financial expectations. So let's say you're starting a business that has to do with selling clothing. This is going to be something that you really need to manage your money in. But on the other hand, getting started with something like a YouTube channel is going to be completely free. So you're not really going to have to stress about the financial situation as much. But if you're starting a business that has some startup costs, make sure to estimate that and really know what you're getting into before you start putting money into this. Because then you're going into this with realistic expectations and you're knowing what to expect in regards to the financial situation. And also, please be honest with yourself on what you can achieve financially, because this will set the foundation for your business's growth. Something that would also be smart that I would suggest doing is reviewing what other people are doing within the niche of what you are getting started with. For example, let's say I wanted to start a new YouTube channel that has to do with makeup and beauty. It would be very smart of me to hop on YouTube and see what other successful creators are doing within the beauty community, because then I can analyze what they're doing and apply it to my content and make sure that I'm creating content that people will actually enjoy. Next, let's talk about setting up your online presence. And having a strong online presence is something that is very essential in today's day and age. And I mean, think about it. How many companies have you found from the internet? Chances are, a lot of people have found most of the companies that they shop with and engage with through the internet. And I could just name so many different companies that I'm a loyal customer to because I have found them on social media. And I would start by choosing the right platform that aligns with your business goals and your target audience. For instance, let's say you are selling products, then choosing a platform like Etsy or Shopify might be ideal because on those platforms, you sell products. Let's say you're offering different services. You could consider places like LinkedIn or even a personal website. And understanding where your audience spends most of their time will help you focus your efforts effectively. Branding is also going to be something that plays a big role in building your company. Now, one business that has done branding very well, aside from controversy, there's a clothing brand called Brandy Melville, and I'm sure a lot of you have heard of it if you're somebody that is of around my age. It's basically just a women's clothing store. But within this women's clothing store, they have really played the social media game perfectly, in my opinion. Because when they sell their different clothing items online, they use real customers' pictures and post it on their account. This way it can be more fun and engaging for their audience, and it shows real customers that are enjoying the product and encourages other people to buy the product as well. But on top of branding something like an Instagram account, branding can also include something like creating a memorable logo or even the title of your company. For example, mine is Kayla's Cash. I thought that was funny and cute. And having a strong brand identity can help you build some recognition. And like I was saying earlier with the whole Brandy Melville clothing thing, they use photos of real customers, but these photos are also very casual and laid back, which is something that makes them more appealing in my opinion. And I can put some pictures on the screen of how Brandy Melville does their branding. For example, here are some pictures of how their models modeled their clothes. And as you can see, it's just very casual. They're just walking down the street or standing in front of a white wall. But this is something that Brandy Melville chose to do, and it's how a lot of people recognize their products and know that that is a Brandy Melville product, just by the style of photo that they use. So with that being said, just branding is going to be very important. And when it comes to establishing your online presence, you could also build something for yourself like a website. And you could do this using different places like Wix or WordPress to help you create these professional looking websites. And this way, using these different online tools that are accessible to you, you don't have to worry about technical skills and coding, which we love. And I would say one of the most important parts to having an online presence in today's day and age is going to be running a social media account for your brand. You're going to want to regularly post valuable content and interact with your followers. You want to build a sense of community for your brand. Next, let's talk about marketing your side hustle. This is where the money aspect is going to come in. You want to market your side hustle in order to really drive these sales. And you can start by exploring various marketing channels. And this could include different things like Instagram and TikTok even, because these are very, very powerful tools that you can utilize in order to reach a broader audience. And with these different platforms, you can create engaging content that revolves around the product that you are selling or the niche that you are promoting. Additionally, you could consider doing something like email marketing. This way, you can really build relationships with potential clients and customers that you are currently working with. And when you build an email list, it just essentially allows you to communicate with your audience and share different promotions or share what types of products are coming next. Now, something that is known as networking is something that is also very essential when it comes to a side hustle. And with networking, you essentially just build relationships to other people that work within your niche. And this way, different people can offer you a various amount of things, whether it be different referrals or maybe even just insights on how to run your business and some tips and tricks. Another thing that could really connect you with your audience is using something such as storytelling and just overall making your brand more relatable to people. And by implementing these different strategies, I have no doubt that you'll be able to market your side hustle correctly. Next, I want to touch base on managing your finances and your growth. Now, let's say hypothetically you have your side hustle all set up. Let's say my side hustle is a YouTube channel. I have it all set up and I start making money with this YouTube channel. But once I start making money with this YouTube channel, do you think it would be a good idea for me to take this money and buy a new car and buy a new house and buy all of the clothes that I've ever wanted and buy new sunglasses? No, that would not be a smart idea. And some of you might be thinking, well, Kayla, if you're making money, why not spend all of this money? That would not be smart. And I say this because something that is known as reinvesting is going to be so important when it comes to maintaining your side hustle. And reinvesting your money is just taking your money and putting it back into your business. Now, I'm not saying take all of your money and put it back into your business. Of course, you could buy some fun sunglasses here and there, but you don't have to spend all of your money once you earn it. I want you to really make sure that you are reinvesting your money. So, for example, if you're running a YouTube channel and you start making money from ad revenue, you could start hiring somebody to edit your videos for you, or you could hire somebody to make the thumbnails for you, or maybe you buy a new camera. Those are all things that could be reinvesting. Now, to help you manage your finances even further, you can use a lot of different online resources. And for me personally, I just use a Google spreadsheet, and this way I can see where all of my money is going and what money am I earning. Or you could even use different budgeting apps, and I know a popular one is called You Need a Budget. But these different apps and tools online can help you really track your finances and see what money are you getting, what money are you putting back into your business, what money are you spending for just fun stuff and traveling, or maybe what money is going towards your apartment or your house. But by prioritizing financial management, you can truly set your business up for growth in the long run. Now, throughout this video, we covered some essential steps in order to setting up a successful side hustle. We began by identifying your skills and your interests, and then we discussed the importance of researching different market trends and seeing just what is in demand. And then I also gave you some examples of a few different side hustles that can be successful and can turn into full-time careers as well. And then we explored the importance of setting up an online presence and choosing the right types of platforms. And as we wrap this video up, remember that taking action is going to be crucial here. And the journey of a side hustle truly just starts with one step. And that first step today could maybe just look like identifying your different skills and your interests. And remember, just taking one step a day can make all the difference. Now, I know I mentioned my favorite side hustle is going to be starting a YouTube channel, which is why I wanted to bring up this video right here. And this is just a video that talks about how to make money with a YouTube channel without actually having to make videos. This video truly has a ton of value in it, and I would highly suggest clicking on it if you want to learn anything about YouTube. This video has got your back. I know it's saved my back multiple times, so make sure to check it out, and we'll see you guys there. Bye!